to stay alive. Trying to find me shawty and make her mine. Now I'll find one in no time. With the help of my homies, I'm going out with my bros. With my
All right, bruh, fans, I gotta say, the show came back strong. We got 3 episodes for the price of 1 this morning. Also, a brief side note, but remember that season 5 of Greenleaf is available on Netflix US. So if you live in the United States like me and you've been wondering when Greenleaf season 5 is available, it's available right now. So before going further in this video, and again, this is going to be like a combined review similar to how I did the premiere, because when Bruh first dropped on BET Plus, we had 3 episodes drop, episodes 1 through 3. Make sure you like the video. Let's try to get to 50 likes on this one. Go ahead and hit subscribe and the bell icon and select all. That way you're notified when I post new content. And finally, go down to that description box. Follow me on social media. Okay, so episode 13, Playing with Fire. Episode 14, On Thin Ice. Episode 15, Blue Sports Car. I would say Playing with Fire was that was probably the sort of weakest episode because of repetitive dialogue. But overall, it was still a strong episode. I feel like what makes Bruh so good, and I'll probably do like an Instagram post or video, the lack of a laugh track, I feel, really makes this show good, because there are times where I don't need to be told when to laugh. Like, I know when to laugh. But there was a lot of foul language from Miss Alice as usual, but it was a good episode. Let me just kind of do like a recap here. The first episode is picking up where we left off, where we have Bill and Regina going at it in the bathroom. Bill doesn't want to do it, but Regina's kind of provoking him into it. And basically, at the end of the day, it's all about Regina getting married tomorrow no matter what. She just wanted to see if she missed being with, Bill in terms of sex. It's like, I just wanted to see, you know how it is when you want something so bad because you don't have it anymore. But when you finally get it again, it's not as good as you remember. Yeah, that's what I was doing with you. Then Miss Alice, she goes in the bathroom and breaks it all up and pretty much, chastises both of them, especially Regina, for knowing that she wants Bill and vice versa. But at the same time, you're going to walk down the aisle the next day. And after everyone leaves, Bill is talking with John, and he wants to break up the wedding the next day. Then we go on Thin Ice. John is just still trying to talk Bill out of messing up the wedding, because Regina actually asked John whether or not Bill was, mature, was he ready? John really didn't know how to answer the question, so she left. And honestly, just looking at Bill, I'm not saying I dislike Bill. I just feel like he's being incredibly selfish, and he only really wants Regina because he can't have her at the moment. And that is kind of messed up, to Pumpernickel. Well, is it John? Wait, I forgot the dude's name. Is it Peter? Peter? That's the guy she's going to marry. I think that's kind of messed up. You willingly had sex with someone just for the sake of, I wanted to get back at you. Oh, I wanted to see if I missed it as much as I used to. And it's the day before your wedding. So Bill is convinced. And I mean, I'm thinking like, Bill, you don't even sound like you believe yourself when you said you're ready to go, move into suburbs, have kids, have a family. No, you don't. So then we also have Alice with a freaking stripper at the house. And that's just a hilarious scene. And John is calling Tom because, he wants to tell him about the whole Bill situation, and he calls him a second time to go crash on his couch. But Tom is in bed reading a book. I think it's called How to Get a Black Man to Commit. Actually a nod to episode 3, because Bill brought this up when he was talking to Mike. That was chapter 7. Chapter 7 was the name of the episode. And I'm glad the book made an appearance because of continuity. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So we also get to the point where Mike is texting Pam about, hey, come over. And then he actually gets on the phone, and it sounds like he's calling Pam. And it's like, oh, Pam lives upstairs in the same loft, but that's not the case. It's another girl named Fiona. It begins with an F. And she pretty much comes over to Mike's place, and Mike wants to have sex, but in reality, he just wants to be held because he's just thinking about Pam. And she actually calls him out for that. So as she's about to leave, who's at the door? Pam's at the door. And then in the third episode, Blue Sports Car, we pretty much have the ladies talking. Fiona talking to Pam about how Mike really feels, and Mike pretty much expresses that he wants to be exclusive with Pam, and the fact that he knows her better than she gives him credit for, like, you know, in terms of her family situation, her fear of love and heartache and whatnot. And they, you know, Pam is wary about it, but they kind of make amends. So we'll just have to wait and see what their circumstance will be like in the future. And John, you know, is over at Tom's place. And I mean, Tom's, you know, like, hey, I got an $8,000 couch. You know, I'm like, first of all, what the heck, man? That's amazing. I want a couch like that. I don't know if I want one that expensive, though. I don't know. Like I said, I'm thinking about getting my own spot next year after my lease is over. So I don't know. I know it won't be an $8,000 couch. But basically, he's getting ready to go to work. And he mentioned this in episode 14. I'm like, wait, I thought he was suspended, but apparently he got called into work for the next day. And I will get to that in a minute. But Bill comes over the next morning, you know, once everybody is awake and getting ready for their day. But also, the talk between Bill and Tom was amazing. I mean, excuse me, Tom and John was amazing. Again, to show the chemistry and the love these guys have for each other, because of the fact that they both want to look out for Bill, where John is like, I don't think he's ready. But Tom's like, well, he's a grown man. He could do what he wants. But at the same time, you know, let's make sure he doesn't make a fool out of himself. Kind of like when Tom was trying to stop drunken Mike from acting like a fool on Pam's date, but he did anyway. I think when it comes down to it, you know, Bill is talking about riding on a white horse. I'm thinking, like, where the hell are you going to get a white horse in the morning before a wedding? And he's going to, like, borrow one of Tom's tux in order to break up the wedding and whatnot. I'm thinking to myself, wow, he's being really selfish, because the brothers are like, wait, does she know you're going to do this? No, man, it's going to be a surprise. It's romantic. No, he's being incredibly selfish. Like, you're literally going to ruin the wedding day. What if you show up and she still says no? And then somebody brings up, and then what if Bill brings up, well, you won't say that last night when you were effing me in the bathroom? Look, this is ad lib. I don't know what's going to happen. But overall, it's going to be pretty wild regardless. I think when it comes down to it, like John said, you need to let Regina go. She's happy now. Let her be happy. Just let it go. And then we also get to Tom at the hospital, and the chief calls him in. Valerie's in there. Hey, Valerie. And basically, the chief says that Valerie has confessed to lying about the whole allegation situation. It's going to be scrubbed from your file. You don't have to worry about anything. Everything's all good. But then Tom's like, so is she still going to be working here or whatnot? Oh, no, yeah, but she'll be disciplined. And then Tom's like, well, this is a situation where we can't work in the same environment anymore. Too much has went down. And basically, Valerie is asked to step outside. The chief is trying to, I guess you could say, alleviate the situation. But the way she was so casual about it reminded me of the dean's daughter when she saw Mike and the bros at the bar the other episode, basically saying, oh, that was some years ago. Why don't we buy you some drinks? No. You ruined my boy's life, John. So it's almost like the women in this show are so cavalier, and they don't feel like any kind of consequences for their own false allegations matter. And it is ridiculous, but it's also great writing because of the fact that this is really tackling some real world stuff. The fact that the Me Too Time's Up movement have revealed and put away some bad people for doing bad things. But at the same time, we don't see consequences for these women who make false allegations that tarnish a male. I'm basically saying male because most of these allegations are against males. Male lives, like their careers, like how many CEOs, and again, I'm not defending those who have wrongfully done things. I'm talking about those who have made false allegations towards innocent people. Like, as soon as an allegation gets traction online, CEOs have to step down. musical artists or, you know, celebrities lose endorsements, but then maybe like 3 weeks to like a month or two later, allegations are dismissed because someone, you know, the particular person accused has the receipts to prove their innocence. But at the end of the day, that doesn't make up for the money they lost due to canceled tour dates, endorsement deals they lost. You know, so it's one of those situations where the people who make false allegations don't receive the punishment they deserve, because Tom was said to be suspended. His job was in jeopardy. But Valerie, who made the allegation, I got a soft spot for Valerie. Hang on. No, I'm not going to say the joke. So basically, her allegations almost cost Tom everything. Not just his career at that particular hospital, but if he tries to get another job anywhere else, that stain will be on his resume and file forever. So basically, you getting a slap on the wrist for telling the truth is not good enough. And I agree with Tom, because not only did she make those allegations up, but remember, she was pretty much spreading rumors and all to the other female nurses around the hospital, and they were treating Tom funky. So even though Valerie came clean, that's another question I was wondering for Tom, you know, like, what about all these? I know there's only so much you could do about gossip, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, she just created a hostile work environment. And then, you know, Tom pretty much shuts down the chief, like, look, you owe me an apology as well. The last time I was in here, you were talking extremely unprofessional and uncalled for in regards to how I look at my physical appearance. And then even though the chief kind of, you know, apologizes, she also lets Tom know, like, hey, remember who you talking to? And he's like, oh no, I ain't forgetting. And then at the end of the day, she's like, so what do I have to do to have sex with you? I'm like, what? That reminds me of that Chris Rock sketch from one of the comedy shows. Like, what I got to do to get with you? And Tom's like, what? And then the damn episode ends. Like, come on. And unfortunately, I was told from some sources that we're going to get one episode a week. And I'm like, what the fuck? No, I need more than one episode. I can't do this anymore. At least give me 2, Tyler Perry. If you can give me 2 assisted livings and 2 House of Pains, which is 2 hours of entertainment, I feel entitled. Yes, I said entitled to 2 episodes of Bruh. I want it. But in any case, this is very interesting, because if the chief was so slap on the wrist with Valerie, how many other male doctors or male employees in this hospital have gone through what Tom has gone through? Like, they possibly got transferred, lost their jobs. But when it comes to the women that have done shady stuff, the chief kind of sweeps it under the rug. Just like when Tom was like, well, yeah, you say all these things about me being handsome and good looking, but that doesn't mean I'm a bad guy. Well, I know that now. And I'm like, so you've been judging every good looking employee up in here, have you? How many people have you slept with, Chief? Huh? But no, this is a great show. Seriously, guys. After the lackluster episodes of House of Pain and Assisted Living, and even the haves and the have-nots giving me that excitement that it used to, I'd highly recommend Bruh. For real, I'm not just saying that, but at this point, we have 15 episodes on BET Plus, so if you want to check them out, go for it. Some people have let me know that I'm not getting BET Plus again until Ruthless comes back. Understandable. I wonder when Ruthless comes back, we'll get 3 episodes at once. That would be great. But that's all I got for this particular video. I think Bruh is on fire. I think these episodes kicked off what could be a very strong back half of the season. And remember that season 2 has been filmed in 4 days. So, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, all I got to say is the back half of this season is already getting to a good start. So, I mean, I'm just wondering what the hell they're going to bring in season 2. I'm excited. So, thanks so much for tuning into the video. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.